Let me show you guys the detailed version of how I make my caldo de res. I'm going to be using the esnillo, also known as chuck. And I'm also going to be using some beef ribs. You can also use beef shanks. I'm going to fill up my pot halfway with water. Then I add an onion, a garlic head, a couple of bay leaves, 2 tomatoes, salt, beef bouillon, and chicken bouillon. Once it comes to a boil, I start adding the bones and the meat. At this point, I'm only going to add the corn. Then I cover it up and let this simmer for about 45 minutes until the meat is nice and tender. Once my meat is tender, I begin to add my potatoes, my chayote, and my carrots. You know how you guys always ask me why I put the whole garlic head without even peeling it? Well, that's because I don't like fishing for the garlic or the onion. I just pull them out and throw them in the trash. Well, why doesn't she just peel them? Guys, I don't have the patience to sit there and peel every single garlic clove. Anyways, I'm gonna cover up my pots and let that cook for about 5 minutes before adding my cabbage and my zucchinis. I always add my vegetables in sections because they all have different cooking times. If you add them at the same time, the veggies that cook the fastest are just gonna dissolve in your caldo. As soon as I add my zucchinis, I put a handful of cilantro, cover it up, and let that cook for another 2 to 3 minutes, and then it's ready. This was the caldo de res that I made earlier for my friends and followers, so some of you guys saw how I served it. What you have to do now is just make some tortillas or warm them up, cut up some toppings. I'm gonna use some onion and some jalapenos. We're also gonna cut up some limes, some chili oil, or some Valentina. The way I played it is I put the vegetables first, and then I start adding the meat and the broth. I also put my cabbage and my corn on the side because they're too big, and then they just take over the whole plate. And you can never forget your big side of Mexican rice. And that's it, guys. That's how I make my caldo de res. Hope you like this recipe. Bye. Can you say bye? Say bye.
Bye.
Let's pack today's lunchbox for my friends and followers. Today I woke up and it was rainy, cloudy, cold AF, so I decided to make them a clam chowder. So in my big pot, I'm gonna render some bacon fat. Using the same fat, I'm gonna saute some leeks, onion, garlic, celery. Then I add a little bit more butter, add some flour to thicken it up like me. We're also gonna add a couple of bay leaves, some chicken stock, clam juice, and clams. You know what? I'm just gonna list all the ingredients on the screen for you guys. Dice 4 potatoes, I throw it in the pot, cover it up, and let that cook until the potatoes were fork tender, which took like about less than 10 minutes. And as soon as my potatoes cook, I'm gonna add my heavy cream. At this point, your clam chowder is ready. I like my clam chowder thick, but not too thick like my sisters. Those mother truckers are eating engrudo, or a freaking plate of Play-Doh. Now, I don't like mine that thick. And I also don't like to add too much potatoes, but I do like to add cheese and parsley, you know, for a little kick of freshness. I was planning on doing clam chowder bowls. I just didn't know how they would take it. So instead, I'm just gonna butter up my buns to make sure they're nice and crispy. Of course, sourdough buns or bread slices, whatever. Make sure that they're sourdough. I'm also not a big fan of Tabasco sauce, but when eating clam chowder, Tabasco is a must. So I'm gonna add some Tabasco sauce. The hubby was here, so he got a bowl too. This time they didn't have the option between a soda or an agua fresca. They just got a soda because I didn't make no agua fresca. It's okay, I'll get them next time. And that's it, guys. I'm just gonna get everything ready for them so they can come and pick up during lunchtime. Bye! Packy lunch for my husband and his coworkers. Now, I know what you're gonna say, ma'am, it's not his turn today. Correct, it's not his turn today. It's actually one of his coworkers' turn. But he asked my husband if it was okay if they just bought lunch from me instead of El Super Taco. And I said, under one condition, that you guys allow me to record at least a little bit of the drop-off. So today they wanted tortas de asada. I left my meat marinating overnight, and then in the morning I cooked it. I butter up my buns to make sure they're nice and crispy. The bottom half, I'm gonna spread some beans. On the top side, they get mashed avocado. This one got a little ripped off because it was my last one. I added some pepper jack cheese and then my meat on top so it can melt. I'm also adding a couple slices of queso fresco, tomato slices, onion slices, some jalapenos, a little bit of lettuce, and some avocado sauce. Now I'm just gonna top it with the top bun and then wrap it up in some parchment paper for them. I cut it in half so they don't have to stuff their face with a big ass torta, and that is what it looks like. Now I'm just gonna wrap it in some foil to keep it warm for them. And as my husband's request for his coworker's order, he wanted some french fries with nacho cheese because he wanted to feel like he was at Taco Bell. Like, who the hell does he think he is? Usually always make 4 lunches because there's 4 of them, but this time 2 pop out of nowhere, so I made 6 of them. I also get some salsa, and as a sweet treat, I decided to surprise them with a churro cheesecake. They had no idea they were getting this. I just cut up some strawberries and put them on top, and then drizzle a little bit of sweetened condensed milk and a little bit of cajeta. No, I can't forget his note to let him know how much I love him. And just to make sure that nobody else gets this note by mistake, I make sure that I give it to him right in his hands. And that's it, guys. So this time, no agua frescas, I got them sodas. And that's it, guys. Now I'm just gonna get everything ready for them, load everything in my truck so I can go and drop it off during lunchtime. Bye! Let me show you guys a quick breakfast at Nanajoe's. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I don't like sweet breakfast. My husband does. And I'm tired of making pancakes. So today I decided to fry up a little bit of tortillas and make a chorizo sauce to go along with some eggs. I don't even know how to explain it to you guys. Just keep watching. First, I fry up some tortillas to make sure they get nice and crispy. For the chorizo sauce, I fry up chorizo, onions, and peppers. Then I pour my green tomatillo sauce all over my chorizo. Then I fry up a couple of eggs to put them on top of my crispy tortillas. Then I ladle that green chorizo sauce all over my eggs and tortillas. Drizzle a little bit of Mexican sour cream and then sprinkle it with some queso cotija. Can't forget your green gold. These are the avocados from my backyard. I guess it's safe to say that I had huevos and chorizo for breakfast. If you know, you know. Anyways, that's it guys. Hope you like this recipe. Bye! Let me show you guys a realistic day of eating here at Nanajoe's. This one right here is my husband's plate. Decided to make flautas ahogadas for dinner. And ahogadas means drowned, so they were supposed to be drowned. But I did overdo it with the spiciness, so I'm just gonna use it as a sauce or he's not gonna eat it. And what other psychopath do you know eats their rice with a fork? So that's his dinner plate. Then there's Joseph, the 2-year-old. Now this kid's favorite food is air. He doesn't eat shit, so sometimes he'll eat some rice. So at this point for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I just start giving him options. So his options were rice, tomato, and oranges. Yes, I know his plate is purple, but I don't give a damn if the plate has unicorns or is shooting out glitter. As long as he's eating, I don't care. But instead, he chose to balance a banana on his head. He didn't eat it. Then there is my plate. I was craving something more warm, like a pho, so I made myself a pho with a couple of shrimpies. Then there's Josiah's plate. This is my teenager. He thought I was taking way too long with dinner, so he decided to make himself macaroni and cheese. And that's what our dinners look like. Bye! Let me show you guys how I made my chile relleno tamales. I've been seeing my video go viral on a reaction channel, so I thought I'd show you guys how I made it. We're going to begin by cooking our chicken because we are going to stuff our chile rellenos with chicken. Shred it up and then save the broth for the masa. Remember that making tamales is a whole family event, so I make sure to start them small. I made him peel about 20 tomatillos and then I boiled them with 5 jalapenos. Add them to my blender along with all the ingredients I'm going to list on the screen. In a different pot, I'm going to fry up a small piece of onion and a little bit of oil and then fry my sauce. Add my shredded chicken and then the filling is ready. For my masa, I have 2 cups of lard that I'm gonna whip the shit out of. I throw a couple ice cubes to the lard so that whenever I'm whipping the lard, it stays cold, making it fluffier and makes a fluffier tamal. I don't know guys, that's my mom's logic. I don't know if it's true, I just do it. And I add about 5 cups of maseca for tamales. Forgot to mention to reserve about a cup of that sauce you made so you can put it onto the masa. You also need salt and about a tablespoon of baking powder. Broth you add depends on how soft you want your masa. I like mine pretty soft because I like to just smear it onto the corn husk. I have already charred, peeled, and de-seed a chile poblano, and then I just fill it up with the chicken and some cheese. I also made one with the masa inside the chile relleno, and then I stuffed it and rolled it up. Some people were saying that maybe the masa didn't cook inside the tamal, but come on. If you make it, you will find out that it does cook. Put them into my pressure cooker for about 20 to 30 minutes, and the tamales are ready. And that's it, guys. This is how I made my chile relleno tamales. Hope you like this recipe. Bye!